Look, early in my term, I announced a major plan to provide millions of working families with debt relief for their college student debt. And the Supreme Court blocked it. It blocked it. But that didn't stop me.
Or how about that time his pals worked to block third-party candidates, like Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who still doesn't have Secret Service protection, from getting on the ballot?
But sure, take a sacred moment like the anniversary of D-Day to strike a contrast with the man who hugs and kisses the American flag whenever he gets a chance.
For more, let's bring in Senator Joni Ernst. Senator, what do you make of this speech that Joe Biden's going to give? Maybe he won't be so obvious that it's about President Donald Trump. But again, he's going overseas to turn what should be honoring those who sacrificed their lives for our freedom into a domestic political event.
Yeah, absolutely, Dagan. And you outlined it perfectly in your opening statement. Look all around the globe. The world is on fire because of who? Joe Biden and his lack of leadership. He's already taken his failed policies overseas, Dagan. We're going to see him now take a speech on democracy overseas where he's going to be pointing the finger at America. And you're right, instead of honoring those that sacrificed so much for this nation, for the rest of the world, he's going to focus probably on his political opponent, one that he is desperately attempting to take down.
But Senator, I mean, Joe Biden's always the laughingstock, and maybe he thinks that news is, corralled off here in the U.S., but Europeans get American news as well, and they know that Democrats tried to kick Donald Trump off the ballot. They know that Joe Biden's Department of Justice is prosecuting Donald Trump. They know that he was convicted last week by Democrat allies, and he wants to go to Europe and lecture them and the world about democracy?
Oh, exactly, Sean. This president is an absolute disaster. And anytime I am traveling overseas, whether it is in Europe, whether it's across the Middle East, we see so many wars going on. We see terrorist threats that are growing in those regions. All of those world leaders that I have the incredible opportunity to speak with, they always ask me, where is American leadership? Because this president is failing on the world stage. And you know what? If you look back 4 years ago, if you look back at the Trump administration, there is absolutely no doubt about it. Our world was so much safer with President Trump at the helm.
Yeah, somebody said to me today, if democracy dies in darkness, Joe Biden has not only cut off the lights, he's cut the power to the home that we call the United States of America. But speaking of that, back here at home, Americans have so much to be worried about as we head into the election. Top of mind for most voters include issues like immigration, the economy, the high cost of living, homelessness, hunger. But instead of delivering solutions for those problems, the Democrats in the Senate today put on a little show trying to make a political statement by holding a procedural vote on a bill that was destined to fail, the Right to Contraception Act. But we can't say that we're surprised since this man is leading the charge.
Those oldies but goodies remind me of you. 90% of my head is filled with lyrics.
Senator, why would they do this?
That's a really good question. Democrats are not paying attention to what Americans need or what they want. That they want inflation to come down. They want our borders secured. They do want affordable housing. They want to know that they can put food on the table for their children. And yet, what do we see in the United States Senate? Not just Chuck Schumer singing, but we see them bringing up issues like access to contraception, which, if you look across the United States, you can get contraception in every one of our 50 states. So I put forward a bill that would expand opportunity for over-the-counter contraception. And you know what? The Democrats blocked it. So I don't think they really want to expand access to contraception. They're just doing a bunch of show votes out there. And we're going to see this through the fall because they have no agenda to run on, and they have no wins to run on. So they're pulling stuff out of the air. They're fear-mongering. They're not looking for solutions. They just want to scare folks. And I'm sorry, all that scaring is not going to drive people to support Joe Biden.
No, it's not. So, Senator, hot mic moments are the best moments that we get in politics. You had your own. There was a press conference held yesterday regarding old Joe and his border deal. You were caught in a hot mic saying pretty much what I think every single American thinks themselves. Let's take a look.
Bottom line, never trust a man whose uncle was eaten by cannibals.
You can't trust a man whose uncle was eaten by cannibals. What kind of response have you had from that very honest comment that you made on a hot mic?
Well, one, you can't trust Joe Biden. So the dude is lying all the time. So he said his uncle was eaten by cannibals. He said he was raised in a black church. He said that he grew up in a Puerto Rican community. I'm not sure what's next. But it just goes back to show that this man is feeble in the mind. This is someone who should not be leading our country at such a critical time. So yes, while it was a hot mic moment, I'm glad it's out there. People are laughing about it. People are coming after me. But it's all in good fun with what he has said, but also in seriousness. This is a man who should not be leading the United States of America.
He is a feeble liar, for sure. Senator Joni Ernst, thank you for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Senator.
Of course. Thank you.
And he was a liar long before he became addled.